Now, growing up, there were also the jokes about the construction crews along the side of the road. That there might be one working and 5 standing around. I want us to take a moment to really think about this. We have celebrated Martin Luther King Jr.'s birth and life here in worship. We have worked and are doing work on racial justice. We are talking about economic justice. We are looking for ways that we can be engaged at the Capitol with the Minnesota Joint Religious Coalition in care for our children and education. We are involved in Isaiah work that talks about mass incarceration and immigration reform. All of these things that are before us. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I look at the workload that we have before us as a people of faith, and I can't help but feel my shoulders get heavy. I can't help but feel that living out this prophetic witness is a hard and daunting task. And this image of the construction crew helps me a lot. You see, growing up and seal coating driveways and working for my uncle who had a blacktopping and seal coating business, I know a little bit about what it means to be out there on the roads and on the driveways in the summer heat. And what it means for us as a community to have those who at times are the drivers, who are going to get us going on the road where we need to go. What it means to have those with their shovels in hand who are out behind making sure that the asphalt is laid. Those who are scoping out. And that the work is never done as a solo task. It is done in the context of community. And that there are times where each of our gifts is needed, and times where we need to take a break. To be with others who are filling in the holes at that moment, perhaps in conversation or providing some wisdom as they go. And we, today, are in that place where we as a community are listening to these words and are called to be part of a construction, a repairing team. It's not just about me or you or you. It is about all of us together being repairers and restorers communally. And it's about the whole. We lose sight of that in a very individualistic culture. We think about what I can do, or the one person we helped. Here in Isaiah, this is a very systemic piece, addressing those things that are wrong in the culture and calling all to engage and be part of the work that is before them. That is an incredible task. That is the gift that we are invited to be part of. That we can be now, as Jesus says, the salt of the earth. That we can be that life when it seems like life is challenged. That we can be that light that shines forth with and for others in promise and newness of life. Let your light so shine, right? Let your light so shine before God that all might know some kindness again. What an incredible witness when we hear that refrain washing over us. Saying that you and I, as people of God, are called to be part of this work. To live faithfully on this motley crew that are repairing the breach. The breach between us and God. The breach between us and neighbor. The breach between us and creation. The breach that sometimes we feel internally in terms of not doing enough, or being burned out, or simply struggling with what is the right answer, and how do we live faithfully in the context of today, when there seem to be moral dilemmas around every corner. What happens when Thrive It takes stands that maybe we might not agree with, or may not feel supported of. What happens when we hear that our government is giving so much money to big corporations and tax loops? And we wonder how that equates with 20% of our children living in poverty. Or what happens with the environmental issues. We have one here in our state as we move north towards the boundary waters. And the question of a mine that for some means life. For some means that they would have a job and could provide for their family. While others look long-term at what it means in terms of pollution going into the lakes and the boundary waters, even into Lake Superior. And we struggle with what that means. So the first thing in this is to hear God's word. The second is to be equipped with God's knowledge and wisdom. To have, as Paul puts before us, the mind of Christ. What is that greater good that we hear? That the Spirit lifts up from within, that then equips us that we might truly shine, that we might sprinkle a little seasoning into the world as salt. Then with that, we go. And we live richly and deeply, shovels in hand, picks in hand, driving the trucks, the machinery going. And we set to work to repair these streets in which many might otherwise be left along the side of the road. The naked, the hungry, the homeless, the imprisoned, those weighed down by guilt and shame, those struggling simply with getting up in the morning, those wondering, is there a place for me? As kids, we weren't